Welcome back. I'm back. You're back. Hey, we back. Welcome everyone to this episode on the Ultimate Sports TV, guys. The most exciting time of the NFL offseason other than the draft and free agency is right now, guys. The NFL schedule and matchups for the 2021 NFL season are coming out, and we started off the week and the day of schedule releases with the week 1 matchup, guys. We had some incredible week 1 matchups come out on paper, and we can't wait to see them play out in live action. I'm about to tell you right now the best NFL matchup in week 1, guys, right after you subscribe to the Ultimate Sports TV. Because if you are not subscribed, you're missing out on so much, people, because this is the hot spot. Get lots and lots of time from the Ultimate Sports TV spot with NBA and NFL content. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and join the 2STV squad. Then you're done with that, please like this video for me, share this video and YouTube channel, then comment down below your favorite matchup and the best matchup in your opinion in week 1 in 2021 in the NFL, guys. Now, I'm about to tell you the best NFL matchup in week 1. Let's get to it. Alright, people, to me, the best week 1 matchup in the NFL is Browns versus Chiefs, guys. We get a matchup of the divisional round last year where the Browns lost to the Chiefs at the last second while Chad Henne led the way on a 4th down and inches play to send the Chiefs to the AFC Championship, guys. I got a bunch of reasons of why this game is really exciting and has all the implications to be exciting. And that first one is that the Browns are hungry. Now, we look at the Ravens last year when they came off their loss from Tennessee. Week 1, everyone was saying the Ravens are hungry. They're going to beat the Browns because they are hungry and are hungry to get off that loss from the Titans. And what did the Ravens come out and do? They came out and mollywopped the Browns, I believe 38-6. So I would have to say that Titans loss played a big part of them, and it really motivated their team. Now, when you have the Browns who are coming off of a loss versus the team they are about to play in week 1, that's even more exciting. You're fueled off the team you're playing this week because you lost to them in the divisional round, especially in the playoffs. When you lose to a team in the playoffs and you play them again, especially week 1, it definitely fuels you up, and I think that's a good thing for the implications of this game to really see a competitive game. Let's not forget the Browns are getting Odell Beckham Jr. back, and when you add the pieces to this Browns defense, it even adds fuel to that fire that the Browns really have inside of them right now after losing to the Chiefs in the divisional round. What does this do for the game? Well, it has us seeing a more competitive game in my view. I'll tell you who I think will win the game at the end of this video, but I think because of the Browns being fueled from losing to the Chiefs in the divisional round, I think that'll make this a very competitive game. Another reason why I think this is the best matchup in week 1 is because I think we're about to see an AFC Championship game preview. I think it's going to be Browns versus Chiefs either at Arrowhead or First Energy Stadium. I think it's going to be a toss-up by the end of the year because I think both of these teams, including the Bills, are going to be fighting for that #1 spot. But I really do think we are going to see these two teams fighting to go to the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship in 2022, guys, this year, guys. I really think it's going to be the AFC Championship preview. The Browns are a way more versatile team this year, knowing that Baker Mayfield has his 2nd year under Kevin Stefanski and knows that system better. I think the Browns are going to be a more versatile team on offense, and knowing that they got more pieces on defense, adding John Johnson, Jadeveon Clowney, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Greg Newsome, Troy Hill, Malik Jackson, all of the pieces they added to their defense makes the defense filled with playmakers, and I think that defense is going to be more versatile with all the guys they do have there. But I really do think this is going to be the AFC Championship matchup, especially knowing who the Chiefs are, knowing they are superstars, and knowing they have one of the best passing attacks ever. This game will be really intriguing because it could also premiere to show us if the Chiefs' September run will end. We all know the Chiefs are really good in September, and if they can get knocked off by a Browns team that is hungry coming off a loss in the playoffs and can be really good this year, then I think it'll be really interesting to see if the Chiefs' September run kind of ends right here. They're really good in September. They kind of mix up their playbook a bit, and it always works, and you need good players to make that happen, and we all know they've got Patrick Mahomes. They got some players on defense, and they got Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. That's why it works, and they've got a great coach in Andy Reid. So we'll see if the Chiefs' September runs can end right here. I'm also really intrigued to see this new revamped Chiefs offensive line. We know what happened in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes was running for his life, and that really was the biggest part of the Chiefs losing the Super Bowl, other than if you want to say their defense had some misfits in that game, because they definitely did. But the biggest part was their offensive line. Now this offseason, they trade for Orlando Brown. They bring in Joe Tooney. They bring in Austin Blythe, and already knowing the guy guys they have on their offensive line, like Mike Reimers, I think this offensive line could be really good this year, and they will be put to the test with Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, and Malik Jackson on the other side of the line of scrimmage. So I'm really excited to see what the Chiefs offensive line can do and if they can hold up for Patrick Mahomes to make sure he is not running for his life every single play. But that also means the Browns defense will be put to the test, knowing the offensive line they have and also knowing the playmakers the Chiefs have on the other side of the ball. Other than Myles Garrett in that front four and then Denzel Ward and Ronnie Harrison last year, the Browns defense overall was just not good. They didn't have enough playmakers and they didn't have enough smart players on the defensive side of the ball to be good all year or keep up with Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes' offense last year in the divisional round. But then you fast forward and resume to this year in the offseason. You bring in John Johnson, you bring in Troy Hill, you bring in Greg Newsome, you add Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in the draft, and you add Malik Jackson and Jadeveon Clowney beside Myles Garrett. This defense is revamped and ready to go, but they will be tested. We all know, we all think that the Browns defense is going to be good this year, but you're going up against one of the greatest offenses of all time in this Chiefs offense. This defense is going to be tested. We all see the playmakers they have on this defense, from John Johnson to Myles Garrett on that defensive line, but they will be tested this game, and I'm excited to see if the Browns defense can step up to the plate and put everyone on notice this year to say, hey, we've already got a great offense, but we've also got a great defense that showed up the Chiefs offense. So if the Browns can say that, coming out of this game saying that, then they will be really far set up to be a really good team this season, as I think they will be. But I think this defense will be put up to the test, and if they can pass that test, that says something largely about the Browns defense already knowing they have a good offense. So the Browns defense will be put up to the test, but knowing the playmakers they have on the defensive side of the ball, I think they will also put the Chiefs offense to the test, because this is a defense that to me looks like it won't break this year like it did last year. Although this Browns defense does have 9 new starters and has to get that chemistry all set up, this team will have training camp this offseason to go through, and then they have the playmakers to make up for the chemistry at times. They have smart players like John Johnson, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Myles Garrett, and every smart player you want to name on that defense. This defense will be ready, and it will be ready to be tested come week 1 versus the Chiefs. Look, we'll see if this Browns defense can stop the Chiefs, especially in September, because we know this offense is very scary in September, knowing the great coach and great players they have. But another thing I'm excited about in this game is my favorite player coming back. Odell Beckham Jr. is coming back. We know one thing the Browns did not have in the divisional round game against the Chiefs. That was OBJ, a guy to stretch the field, a guy to make sure you get the defense's attention. Now Baker Mayfield will have his guy OBJ back. Although we know it hasn't really worked all like that in the past, I think it will work now, knowing Baker is finally comfortable in the system and didn't have to worry about really feeding the Odell the ball last year. Now that he really knows the system, got a chance to learn it, I think he'll fit in right well with Odell, and Odell will have a great impact in this game. The Browns get a star player back in this game versus a star team that they'll be playing in this game. So I'm really excited to see Odell in this game. Now, who will win this game? I'm going to go with a bold prediction here and say the Browns win this game right here. We know what hungry teams coming out of the playoffs, a playoff loss can do. Now, we know the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl, but that wasn't against the Browns. The Browns actually lost a game in the playoffs to the Chiefs. We know that the Browns are hungry, and when you have a defense that has all the stars they have on it, although they are going to have to get that chemistry up, they do have a lot of playmakers where I don't think that defense will break, and they have an offense that can keep up with the Chiefs offense. And I know the Chiefs can be undefeated sometimes in September, but if you're trying to avoid seeing that offense on the field, you need to have a run game, and the Browns have a run game with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I haven't really even named them this whole video, and I even forgot about them, and that's really scary for the rest of the league that the Browns have a running game like this. You can keep the Chiefs off the field, you can keep their offense off the field from seeing really all that they have in their playbook, and I think knowing that the Browns will have a better passing attack this year goes on top to really say, hey, the Browns have a good chance at winning this game. Their run game to me and the pieces that they have on defense should be really good and nice to set up the Browns to win this game week 1 in Arrowhead, guys. But that's my best matchup in the week 1 of the NFL, guys. Give yours in the comment section below. In the meantime, I'll have more scheduled things for the NFL matchups coming out soon in this channel, guys. Other than that, this is Malik Hicks, aka the Ranker of the Ultimate Sports TV, signing off. Peace out, and I'll see you on my next one.